right, so they got me working in the fair right now because I have to work my pay for the day. I've been fooling around all day long. Well, I came across Barbara here. She's been in this business with the cows ever since she was a little girl. Barbara, this is amazing. Look at how well cared for they are over here. I mean, they're so happy. They're so good. How do you do all this, and do you like doing this?
Yes, I love doing this. It's 365 days a year, twice a day. They need to be fed, they need to be cared for, cleaned.
Barbara, tell me a little bit, how did you get into this business? You said you were just a little girl. This is your family.
Yeah, my great-grandfather started in 1902.
And you're up in Ward Hill, Mass.
Correct.
And you were telling me a little story about what you actually do for these cows. There's beef cows, there's milk cows, and then there's just cows, if that's the right word. And what exactly do you do with these cows?
Well, these here are replacement heifers. We buy them when they're about 3 to 4 months old. We raise them and impregnate them and sell them to another farm right before they have a baby calf, because once they have a baby calf, they'll start to go into milk production. So we're replacing the herd for the other farm is what we're doing. That's why they're called replacement heifers.
And not only do you do this, you're volunteer, you're having some fun at the fair here, but you were telling me you also have a farm stand in Ward Hill, Mass?
Yes, we have a full-service garden center also, about a mile from our actual farm.
So when do you have the time to go to bed, to go to sleep, to do anything? Because you're taking care of these 24/7, okay, and you're here at the, at the fair, working here as a volunteer, taking care of everyone else's cows, or whatever what are they called, cattle or cows? Cows. Do you have more than 2 cows? Is that cattle?
Well, a cattle's like a herd.
Okay, see, I know, I'm learning that. So you truly enjoy this, doing this.
I do. It's a passion.
And it keeps you in shape.
Well, I go to the gym also.
Well, thank you so much, Barbara, for being on the show, because I'm going to tell you, I've never seen cows so clean. I mean, they're really taken care of.
They love coming to the fair. It's like a little vacation for them.
And one thing I was telling you, and I wasn't joking, cows are almost a little bit better than people, because they give their own personalities, and you can nurture them, but you also get up in the morning and talk with them. And each one of these all have their own little name.
That's right, we do.
Well, thank you again, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thank you again so much. I'm glad I met a farm girl, a true, authentic farm girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you also.
An aerial handstand.
through the weeds and then you're going to the floor. This guy has not been in the ring before. Oh wow, we are in the cross path, the crossroads of the Topsfield Fair. Look at this. There's tons and tons of people. The weather's magnificent. I had to stop because I came across Carolyn. And Carolyn has this most amazing story today about, are you ready for the name? Tell us the name.
This is Spanky.
Spanky. Carolyn, thank you so much for being on Around the Garden with Jimmy K. So tell me a little bit about what you do, because the story behind what you told me is amazing. It's a sad story, but then it creates into this amazing story that you do with donkeys and horses and everything as far as animals. Can you tell me and share with everybody what you actually do?
Yeah, sure. We're near North and we're located in West Newbury. We're a rescue for horses, donkeys, mules. And if someone's fallen on hard times and is unable to care for their animal anymore, maybe there's a divorce or a death in the family, we end up getting contacted by that family and they hand over the horse or donkey or mule to us. And then we take it in and do the medical workup on it with a vet, with the farrier, have our trainer take a look at the equine, whether it's a horse, maybe it's rideable, maybe it's not, maybe it just needs to be a companion animal. And then after there's been some training and potentially some rehabilitation or some medical treatment, then they come up for adoption. And we put them up on our website and interview people and then find their forever homes.
I mean, this pony right here is so happy. I mean, he's probably happy that he's eating green grass. We've had so much rain in New England. So I mean, that's an amazing thing. Yeah. But he's happy. And a happy animal is what it's all about. Absolutely. And of course it makes you happy.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I think it brings a lot of joy for us to see an animal that may have come in, maybe not under the best of circumstances, then find their forever home and be with their new family.
Now, Spanky loves this and probably loves the people. Now, is Spanky a really, really happy, family-oriented pony?
Yeah, so Spanky is one of our mascots. We have Spanky and Tootsie. And they sort of come to events with us, but we have a lot of actually regular sized horses. This is a miniature horse actually. So we do have ponies, we have miniature horses, we have horses, and like I said, donkeys and mules. So yeah, he's gonna be at the events with us, so he's not up for adoption, but all of our other are.
Spanky almost went home with me tonight. I was already gonna put him in the back seat. Well, Carolyn, you told me you have a donkey now. Can we take a look at one of the donkeys really quickly that you've made so happy?
Yes.
So these are some of the donkeys that you brought to the fair. These aren't up for adoption, but you have other donkeys that you do have for adoption. It seems like the donkeys are the ones that get rescued and adopted rather quickly. This is a friend of yours.
Yeah, this is our neighbors. They're just here to represent donkeys that we also have at our rescue, but these are not near North's donkeys.
And what are their names now?
Gronk and Brady.
Gronk and Brady. And donkeys in general, I've always been just so amazed that their character, but you see their personalities are so unique.
Yes. They're love bugs. I always think of them as, I mean, just being very lovable.
It's not a horse, it's not a pony, it's a donkey. Yeah. And this is quite amazing. Yeah. Well, Carolyn, thank you so much for being a part of my enthusiastic day here at the fair. And once again, thank you so much again and again and again. And I wish you the best of luck, because I know that you have the personality and you have the vision, you have the love for these animals.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing the awareness to what we do.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
So it's getting to be the end of the day. Look it's sundown. Guess what? I'm in the middle of nowhere, far away from home, and I stumble across the Lexington PD. And this is what she told me many years ago, what she does. She does, tell me, and first of all, tell us your name.
Christina DeMambro.
Christine, she's very quiet all of a sudden now. But this, tell me what you do. No, because this is really fun what you do, and you have fun here at the fair.
Yes, we do the barrel racing. This is my trainer.
All of a sudden, she's so quiet. She was so bubbly when it wasn't. So you were telling me, and I'll help you along with it. It was so unbelievable. You race for the least time horses around barrels.
I try to.
And what's the record so far?
16. Tonight I ran a 16. Well, earlier today in the performance I ran a 16. I won the rodeo.
Really?
Yes.
So get me in there, because it's not going on. Get me in there, in my head, what exactly goes on? How do you get the horses to do, which is a large beast, to do what they do?
It's all about feel. So the softer you are and the more in tune you are with your horse, the easier they cooperate with you and the faster you can go.
And talking to you earlier, this is really fun. This is like a relaxation thing for you, or is it the challenge and the pressure of that you want to win?
It's an addictive hobby for certain.
Expensive, I'm sure.
Hobby, definitely. But it's something that you just drive. You have to have the drive to do it, and the commitment to train every day and keep animals in condition to be able to compete.
And how long have you been doing this?
Pretty much my whole life.
Wow.
Yes.
And you just enjoy it.
Yes.
And how many horses now do you have?
So I have 3 here, which coming into the situation, I didn't know what the ground was going to be. So I have to bring all my horses to decide which one to use when I see what type of material they're going to be running in.
And is every day almost like a different day as far as training and having some of your... Now, you got to come in the picture here. You got to come in the picture here. I mean, look at this. This is a real authentic cowgirl. Look at this.
She rides with me.
And do you enjoy this?
I do.
And what's your timing and what's your passion as far as with horses?
My timing is 18 seconds, and I've just grown up with horses pretty much all my life, and I just love doing it.
So, when you go home, you actually go out and without people involved, you just love the whole idea of horses in your yard and everything about it. Yeah. So now what's your goals? What are your 2 goals as far as moving forward with the horses?
Well, my goal is to get faster times and to get more experience in racing.
And does the challenge and the drive in general get you at home at night and say, how am I going to beat yesterday's score?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yep.
So you're like a challenging girl.
Yep.
And you're the trainer.
Yep.
If she agrees.
Well, if you had one word to describe what you do as far as going out there and doing this, we call it the barrel of the horses, what's the best word?
Fun. It's a lot of fun.
Same with you?
Absolutely.
I call it a challenge. Well, I'm going to tell you, Chris, this is amazing. And look at, right in the middle, cowgirls at its finest. Now, come on, you got to come in at the end over here. Come on, look at this. She has to wear pink because, number one, it's the month. But look at, she thinks she's Bobby. Bobby, remember Bobby with a horse?
I'm Skipper.
Well, this is her. Well, thank you, girls, so much. This is great. What a way to end the event. I'm glad that I stumbled across you. And you said, hey, wait. And I go, wait. And we looked at each other like, and there she is. Always be out there and always have fun. Well, thank you, everybody. Be good. This has been a great day. Look at the backdrop over here. We got a Ferris wheel. Well, it has nothing to do with gardening at all. But I'm going to tell you, it's an honor and a privilege that I'm here tonight with Dave Thompson. And Dave has a little bit of a story, his background. He's been doing agriculture all his life, but so hasn't his dad. and a little bit about Dave. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
allowing me to come here. I met so much here. It's unbelievable.
It's great, yeah. Everything from the agricultural side of things down to the midway. It's there's a lot going on at the Topsfield Fair.
Now, you've been doing this for quite a while,
Yes.
but your background, you were telling me you truly, truly love gardening.
I do. It's kind of in my blood. As I was mentioning to you, my dad was Bob Thompson, who hosted the Victory Garden on PBS for about 12 years, had his own garden center, had a radio program on gardening tips. So I think I just learned through osmosis, and unfortunately I don't have lots of sunlight in my yard, so my garden isn't that big, but I do what I can with what I got.
Well, the weather wasn't a factor at all as far as making a really, really good garden this year, because we had rain, but then we had many, many days that it was dry as anything.
Right.
So it was like a loophole. And I always say out loud to everybody, gardening is a big, giant experiment.
Absolutely.
And one thing about the Topsfield Fair was, and it still is, it's about bringing people out of the garden and showing the public and everybody around what they grew, what they do, how they can create. And here, the fair shows all that in a big, big way. And it's just so amazing, the creativity that I see every single year. Yeah, we're in an environment in a world that's always changing, all that, but the gardening and the hardscape and the real true thing is in the ground.
Absolutely.
And what you can do out there without technology, using your hands in your mind every single day, and it soothes the soul, is gardening.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that this whole area shows.
This entire fair started as an educational fair. It continues that way. It's kind of strange talking about the educational side of things in front of all the games and rides, but like you said, that's the way to pull people in. So the Topsfield Fair started 205 years ago. Literally, farmers got together and shared best practices. What seeds worked, what didn't, what cattle was good, what cattle wasn't, all of that kind of stuff. And it just grew and grew and grew over the years. And as education or agriculture has become less and less, fewer farms in the area, you had to attract people in with games and rides and all kinds of fun things to get them to sneak in the education part of it. So they come here, maybe think that they're just going to eat all the food and go on the ride, but they end up going to see the giant pumpkin. They see the thousands of exhibits that people entered, from quilts and needlepoint to fruits and vegetables to the incredible flower display. There is so much work that goes into this fair. 700 volunteers it takes to make this fair happen, and most of those volunteers are just passionate about one particular aspect of it. So whether it's sheep or quilting or whatever it may be, they're here because of that. They bring in their wares every year. Most of them do a lot of contesting for it, try to win that blue ribbon. Some of them, they get a few dollars if they win. They don't even care about that. They just want that blue ribbon.
It's not really all about just winning the prize. It's about you did it.
Yep.
You did it. It's not like you're creating something, you know, on the computer or watching TV. You created over time, and now you're here to show the public what you created, just like the big pumpkin you were saying.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what's
Pride.
really, really good. And I noticed that there's an awful lot of young youth out there right now that are getting in there, that are growing small little seedlings and watching that. And that's a lot better than sitting in front of the TV or on the computer playing games. And more of that, I see that happening. And that's what's really great about the whole
We
thing.
had an 8-year-old that entered the giant pumpkin contest this year, which was awesome because we want to see that next generation just come in and get excited about agriculture, about farm life and all of that, so they can then continue the tradition and bring their kids and their grandkids to the fair and see everything that's going on.
And that's what it's about. Well, Dave, I know you said you only had a few minutes to do it. I'm going to let you go because he's got to go all over the place. He's got a lot to do.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you once again, thank you so much. I had such a great time. I sampled an awful lot of
I hope
stuff.
you did.
And I met some really good people.
Excellent.
And Dave, once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So like we both said, the garden is the best thing. Around the garden with Jimmy K, get out there and get your hands dirty. Thank you so
Thanks
much,
so
Dave.
much.
I love it.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, please send me that. And I'm sorry, I literally